Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross and I was always told how to voice radio, so today I'm going to be showing you a new item card. A kind of weird item card, but a pretty good item card. It's called Mix Herb, and it has been translated by the lovely David Hochmann over at RappelmannTCG. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this could be pretty good, and yes, you've probably guessed it by now. It's a healing card. What does it do? Well, it's one of these that you can play two of at the same time. And if you play one of them, you get to heal one special condition from your active Pokemon. Fine, I suppose. But if you play two of them at the same time, you get to heal 90 damage and all special conditions from your active Pokemon, which is pretty awesome. Couple of quick notes here. First of all, it is only your active. This cannot be used on your bench. Now, this is according to the translation we've got from the lovely David Hochmann, but I see no reason not to believe this. So we are talking purely active here, not the bench. And do remember, you can have more than one special condition. Now, paralysis, sleep, and confusion are kind of either or here. They all basically stop you attacking, but you can have burn and poison. Think something like the Salazzle from Guardians Rising. You evolve it up and give both of those special conditions to your opponent, or something like poison and confusion, which would be done by a Nihilego GX and the ability. So, yeah, when it says one special condition or all special conditions, sometimes that is actually quite relevant because you can have more than one at one time. I mean, look, it's another one of these play two cards. We just got Custom Catcher the other day. It's amazing. And we are losing Puzzle of Time here. It was played for a while, especially in Zoroark decks, and now it's going away. But it's kind of cool to have these two. We had them back in the day with stuff like Poker Draw Plus and Poker Blower Plus, so it's quite nice to, and Poker Healer Plus, which is of course very similar to this. It's nice to get them back. And actually, as a side note, Custom Catcher, at least the good effect, was basically a reprint of Poker Blower. And if we compare Poker Healer to this, I mean, Poker Healer, when you played one, you removed one damage counter and a special condition. If you played two, it removed 8 damage counters and all special conditions. So the only real difference is you get 1 fewer damage counters healed if you play one, but 2 more damage counters healed if you play both. Very, very similar, which of course does then raise the question, are we going to get Poker Draw Plus coming back? Because we've had essentially reprints of the other two. And that one let you search for any 2 cards if you played 2 of them. So, you know, something to keep an eye on, at least. Now, Zoroark clearly is one of the main candidates to use this. It was one of the main candidates for Puzzle of Time because it can use trade. You keep 1 card in your hand, and then you discard another card from your hand and draw 2. Keep 1 Mix Herb, discard another card, draw 2 cards, hopefully get the second Mix Herb. This is not particularly great if you only play 1 of them. Now, don't get me wrong. If you find yourself up against a Froakie that's doing the whole bubble thing, then yeah, fine. Being able to heal that paralysis and then get a KO can work nicely, but generally speaking, you want to play both of these at the same time, at which point you heal 90 and all special conditions. The question we need to ask ourselves is this really better than the alternatives? We've got a whole bunch of other healing cards. Is this one better? So if we have a look at Pokemon Center Lady, which is rotating, that healed 60 in all special conditions. Now, it healed 30 less, but it could heal either your active or your bench, although obviously you're not healing special conditions on your bench. That would be silly. And this is quite a nice replacement for that. If you were the kind of deck that wanted to use Pokemon Center Lady, I don't see any real problem with using this, especially given that it's not your supporter for the turn. I mean, we've got stuff like Crash Awake, for instance, for water decks, which just allow you to search for both of those cards, so you can heal up nice and easily. We've got Macargo coming out that allows you to put any one card onto the top of your deck from your deck. And you know what? This could actually be quite nice because you could put the second one on top of your deck when you've already got one of them in hand. So we've got ways of playing it here. But then again, if you're a water deck, you could just be using stuff like Manaphy, for instance, and maybe even Lana, although Manaphy's quite a lot better, and then maybe you don't have to use all of these items. And that is the thing about healing. Unlike draw supporters, where we're just getting into the position where we've got enough for post-rotation, when it comes to healing, we have got other options, as much as we're losing Pokemon Center Lady. Now, if we go back a little bit, we had Gold Potion. Gold Potion healed 90 damage, though not special conditions, and it was so good that it was an ace spec. Now, as a bit of context, Gold Potion came out when Darkrai was everywhere, so is worth reminding that actually it hit the numbers beautifully on Darkrai. Darkrai did 90 to the active, 30 to the bench, so Gold Potion would heal either the one lot of 90 or it could heal 3 lots of 30, and it did see a little bit of play here and there, largely for the Darkrai mirror match. Well, this heals 90 and special conditions, and it's not limited to 1 per deck, although I suppose it's kind of limited to 2 per deck, given that you have to play both of them to do so. We've got Max Potion that heals all of your damage but discards energy, and if you don't mind discarding the energy, and you're not worried about special conditions, obviously Max Potion is better. But there's no point healing completely and still being paralyzed, and there's no point healing completely if it gets rid of enough of your energy that you're unable to attack for the next couple of turns. So it's not like Max Potion is always the be-all and end-all here. Max Potion is useful, but it's really not everything. And of course, the other one we're having coming out quite soon is Desperation Potion. It heals 120, but you've got to have 3 or fewer damage counters remaining, i.e. you've got to be at 10, 20 or 30 HP. And as I said in the video about this, and I'll try and remember to link the video in the description, a lot of the time here, even if you've got that few damage counters remaining, you're not going to heal completely. So an Empoleon, for instance, isn't going to heal up to full if it's got 3 or fewer HP remaining, because you know what? It's got 160. It would have to have at least 130 damage on. 120 isn't going to completely heal you. I like Desperation Potion, but I think it's going to be a little bit awkward in most decks. Like I said in the video, if you're in Expanded and you're using Focus Sash, so that Focus Sash falls off and then you've got 10 HP remaining, yeah, go for it. But I do think this is a better version of it. The thing is, are special conditions going to be as relevant moving forward here? Because everybody's playing Guzma here, which is a switch as well as a gusting effect. And a skateboard is likely to see a lot of play post-rotation when we lose Floatstone, and that allows you to retreat if you are asleep or paralyzed, which are the main special conditions you'd want to get rid of here. I mean, sometimes you'll want to heal a burn or a poison because you're about to be KO'd, but most of the time you're not going to be too worried because you can use a skateboard. So, are we worried enough about special conditions to use this? The other question that I really use to doubt how good this is going to be is Zoroark. I keep saying that because of trade, Zoroark can use these double cards much better than other people. But it's been using Puzzle of Time, and that's quite good. But we've got Custom Catcher coming out. And I don't think this is as good as Puzzle of Time or Custom Catcher. Custom Catcher, if you play 2 at the same time, it's a free gusting effect. It's a Lysander, for instance, if you play 2 at the same time. And if I'm a Zoroark player next format, I would rather have a gusting effect from 2 item cards than heal 90 and removing special conditions. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. And if Zoroark, the deck that can most readily use this, isn't likely to use this because it's got better options, it does make me sit and think, well, what decks are going to use this? Surely almost every deck is going to have better options. I don't think special conditions are going to be good post-rotation, and I don't think Zoroark's going to make much use of this. And with both of those things put together, this remains as a nice, fun, interesting card. But one that I don't think is going to see a lot of play. However, if we end up in a 2-hit KO format, because right now stuff like Boswell and Ultra Necrozma are very much putting us in a 1-hit KO format, or if we end up with a whole bunch of special conditions running around in the format, this could be good. But in a 1-hit KO format without special conditions, I'm not a huge fan of this. I'm giving it free wassies because, you know, you might want to put a couple copies in your binder. You might want to take it in at some point. But I don't think it's going to see much play when it comes out. I do think we've got better options. But if you disagree with me, or if you just want to tell me I'm right, that's always nice, let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.